All right, let's talk about AI. Because right now, there's this massive split in how we should even think about it. On one side, you've got the historian Yuval Noah Harari. He sees AI as this powerful, kind of alien other. But then, there's this other philosophy, Cointelligentialism, which argues we should see AI as a partner. So today, we're going to break down these two completely different visions for where we're all headed.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. First, we'll get to the heart of their disagreement. Is AI an alien or a partner? Then we'll dig into what they think about consciousness and the very real risks of collapse. After that, we'll compare their solutions. And finally, we'll see if there's a way these two big ideas can actually fit together.
Okay, let's kick things off with the most basic question of all, the one that everything else builds on. What exactly is our relationship with AI? Are we building an alien intelligence, or are we creating a new kind of partner?
So Yuval Noah Harari's take is that we are creating something truly non-human. He calls it alien. It's not organic, it doesn't have a body, it doesn't need to sleep, it processes information in a way that is just fundamentally different from how we do it. For him, this makes it separate, something other.
But then you have the Cointelligentialism framework, and it offers a really sharp contrast. It says, hey, let's reframe this. Instead of seeing AI as a separate thing we have to manage or compete with, what if we see it as a symbiotic partner? The core idea here is that humans and machines working together, well, that's going to be way more powerful than either one trying to dominate the other.
So here's the bottom line, the crucial point. Harari's entire view defines AI by how different it is from us. It's this external thing that we have to figure out how to control. Cointelligentialism, though, defines AI by its deep connection to us. It's a force that we have to learn how to co-evolve with.
And, this basic difference in how they see our relationship with AI, well, it leads straight into one of the biggest, messiest questions of our time, consciousness.
Harari draws a really sharp line in the sand here. He says, look, AI is getting incredibly intelligent, no doubt about it, but it has zero consciousness. For him, intelligence and consciousness are just two completely separate things. He has this great analogy. An airplane can fly way better than a bird, but it does it without feathers. In the same way, AI can achieve superintelligence without ever having a single feeling.
Cointelligentialism puts something totally different on the table. The idea isn't that AI is going to wake up one day and be conscious like a person. No, the idea is that a new, kind of hybrid awareness, what it calls a we consciousness, could actually emerge from the interaction between us and AI. But, and this is key, it's not a given. It's presented as a design choice we have to actively work towards.
Now this is where it gets really interesting, because look at where they focus their fears. Harari's deeply worried about AI's impact on our big external systems, governments, banks, armies. But Cointelligentialism points inward. It's focused on how these systems are already shaping our inner worlds, like how algorithms are influencing the subconscious of a child before they can even talk.
So it probably won't surprise you that both of these frameworks warn about a potential collapse. But, and this is a big but, they think it's going to happen for completely different reasons.
For Harari, the danger comes from the outside. He paints this picture of a global AI arms race, right? And it's all fueled by the simple fact that nations and big tech companies just don't trust each other. So everyone rushes ahead, no one puts on the brakes, and we risk ending up in a world run by automated systems that nobody really understands or controls anymore.
Cointelligentialism says, hold on, the real risk is internal. The problem isn't the technology, it's us. It's our own lack of moral and spiritual maturity. The warning here is that when you develop incredible outward power, like AI, without growing your inward wisdom to match, well, that's just a recipe for blowing yourself up.
So, okay, we've got two very different diagnoses of the problem, which means, not surprisingly, they propose two very different paths for how we're supposed to survive this.
Harari's solution is pragmatic, it's political. He's focused on external controls. He's saying we desperately need global agreements, we need strong regulations, and this is huge for him. We need to rebuild trust in our institutions, in science, in journalism, in government, because without those, we have no chance of managing this thing.
Cointelligentialism, on the other hand, calls for something much deeper, an evolution in our own consciousness. It argues that for humanity to survive and mature, we have to consciously balance our outward evolution, all our amazing tech and power, with an inward evolution of wisdom, morality, and self-awareness.
And this slide just lays it out so perfectly. You can really see the fundamental split here. Harari wants to manage the tool.
Cointelligentialism says we have to transform the user. That's us. One is a political solution. The other is a consciousness-based solution.
Okay, so we've got these two very different ways of looking at the problem, and two very different solutions. But what if they're not actually at odds with each other? Let's explore how these two big ideas might actually come together.
When you really look at it, they absolutely agree on the big stuff, that this is a huge deal and that the path we're on right now is incredibly dangerous. Both of them are basically yelling for us to slow down. Where they split is on the root cause. Is it a political problem or a spiritual one? And that, of course, changes the solution.
But here's maybe the most powerful idea of all. What if these two approaches aren't just compatible, but actually need each other? Think about it. Harari's call for strong rules and trustworthy institutions, that could create a safe container, a stable playing field, that allows for the kind of deep inner work that Cointelligentialism is calling for.
And you know, in the end, both of these thinkers, from their different angles, they're showing us the same incredible truth. Our future isn't set in stone. We are no longer just passengers on the river of evolution. We are literally the architects designing its course. The amazing tools we're building are forcing us to look in the mirror and ask the biggest questions of all. Who are we, and who do we want to be?
And that leaves us with one final, massive question that I think is going to define this entire century. As we sit down at the drawing board to design this new world, what will be our guiding principle? Will it be the raw pursuit of intelligence, or will it be the deep cultivation of wisdom? The choice, for the first time, is truly ours.